Star Familia. I am Luna, and today I'm making my first ever YouTube video. Okay, and I'm doing it on my phone. I am going to invest in a camera, so in the future it will be probably better quality, hopefully, fingers crossed. I don't know. In any case, this is a video about a topic that is highly requested, and so I felt that it would be good to have this be my first video. The topic is shadow work. Shadow work, yes. So a lot of people have questions about shadow work, where to start, what it is, all that. So I'm going to try to explain my best to my knowledge, because remember, I can only explain things from my perspective and from my experience, from my life, things that I've gone through. First of all, what is your shadow? Well, your shadow is all the parts of you that you don't like, the parts of you that you don't want to talk about, the parts of you that you hide. We all are made of light and dark. So we all have a dark side and we all have a good side, you know. Some people it weighs more than other, you know, it's so we are all made of light and dark, like the yin yang, okay? Now, your shadow can be the most obvious, which is trauma. It can be insecurities. It can be thoughts that are limiting, that do not serve you, you know, programming, all that stuff. The list goes on. And so these negative sides of ourselves that we try and hide, instead of running away from them, shadow work is going towards them. Shadow work is going to look different for everyone. But shadow work basically means what the title means, working on your shadow. Okay, so now that we know what the shadow is, you have to identify what the root cause is. Okay, so when you are starting shadow work, remember, this is just my experience. It's gonna look different for everyone. Okay, there's not really a right or wrong way to do it. It's just it's an experience that is individualized but not individualized, because we've all suffered the great pain, you know, the energy. I've broken it down into a few steps for you guys to follow, that have helped me along my shadow work journey. Now, these steps are to help you transmute the energy, because remember, like the yin and yang, it has a side that is dark and a side that is white, and in each one it has a circle, right? And so in the dark side it has a white circle, and in the white side it has a dark circle. And so what that symbolizes is the unity of both in harmony, but both of those little dots that are in there represent that you cannot have one without the other. You feel me? Okay, so once we recognize our shadow, we have to transmute the energy, because we can't get rid of it. We can't cut it off. It's part of us. So this is where acceptance comes in, but this is going to be later on in the steps. Let me not get ahead of myself. So the first step is to identify. Identify what your shadow is that you are going to try and work on. We have lots of them, so focus on one at a time, or not, whatever works for you. First and foremost, identify the shadow. Now, identifying this shadow, for some people is easy, for some people it's hard. For me, I usually am, my intuition is very loud, so I am aware of where the trauma comes from the actual root. I can hear it in my mind, because we know everything about ourselves. We've just forgotten. If you have trouble identifying what the shadows are, then you can try a couple of things. You can meditate and see what comes up, if anything. You can ask your ancestors or your guides or God or the universe, whatever you believe in, and ask with intention and and be open to receive the answers, and guaranteed that they will show up. Okay, they can show up in dreams, they can show up as other people, be open to listen to what other people are saying. They can show up in signs, angel numbers, all kinds of stuff. Okay, so be open to receive that. For example, I'll give you my one of my shadows, right? So one of my shadows was me having abandonment issues. Okay, abandonment issues, and it stems off on into my relationships. Because the abandonment issues started when I was a little girl, because I grew up with a single mother, in a single mother home. And so my father was never around. And so since I grew up without a father, I didn't know what I felt abandoned, I guess. And so I tried to look for love outside of me in a man, right? So every time that I dated a man, it was obviously a toxic one, not a good one, because I was looking for something that I already had inside, outside of me, outside of myself. So I was manifesting my shadows. And so my shadows were becoming my relationships, and it was just a huge circle, right? So I knew that it came from me not having a father, that was like the very deepest level that I could go. That was my shadow. Some people can identify their shadows as easily as I did. Step two. Step two is to feel it. Okay. And by feeling it, you are healing it. So this is a double whammy. This is killing two birds with one stone. You feel me? Okay. So you are going to feel everything. If you are angry, if you are sad, feel those things, because that is part of the human experience. The reason that we signed up to experience those traumatic events was to learn something out of them, to get a lesson out of it. Okay, and if we fail to learn the lesson, then we keep repeating the same pattern, because life is cyclical. A way that you can feel, or different ways that you can feel your shadow or the energy. The shadow is basically an energy. The way that you can feel the energy is by meditation. Meditation, I tell everyone to do, because it's honestly like the best thing ever, and it's free. So meditation is really good to feel it. So what I did to heal the trauma from my father not being there was to do inner child work, to talk to my child self. So I did a meditation where I went deep into meditation, and then I pictured myself as a child, and I spoke to her, and I gave her kind words, support from my future self, me, my present self, just saying, I love you, I'm here for you, you got this, don't worry, like, you're never alone, all this good stuff. So that really worked to heal. I was crying, obviously, and that's feeling it, crying, letting it out, or laughing, or sometimes it'll manifest as a physical pain, or you'll get chills, or just it just will come out of your body in a different way. um, some people cough, some people sneeze, some people get headaches, like it just, some people see lights. It's just the way that the energy is moving out and just releasing out of your body. Another thing that you can do to feel the energy of the trauma that you're trying to heal is to do sound healings. So sound healings can be either frequency healings, they can be sound bowl, sound baths. I'm sorry, sound baths. Those are very awesome. Sound baths really like tap me in like this. It's, my body reacts to sound so well because I'm a musician. So sound baths is one way. Another way is Reiki. Okay. Another way is plant medicine. There's, reparenting, talking to your child self, like I said. There's all kinds of different ways that you can go about feeling it, different therapy that you can try. So it's just about what is right for you. Do your research and find your own truth. Keep asking questions. Don't take my word for it. And so step 3 is acceptance. So accepting your shadow. So once you have identified it, then you felt it, and you healed it, then you accept it. Okay, accepting and healing are kind of hand in hand, which is why healing is not its own number. Acceptance is accepting it as part of yourself, accepting it as part of the experience that you incarnated to have. Because you cannot ever let it go. The trauma that I have from not having a father growing up is not something that's ever going to really go away, because it is in my memories. And the trick is to just heal it, feel it, accept it. And it feels loved when you accept it. When you accept it for what it is, for the lesson, it becomes a blessing instead of something traumatic, And so your perception changes, and the energy starts to shift into another direction, which is the whole trick of transmutation, changing hate into love. And the last, but definitely not least, the final step to transmuting your shadows is to let that shit go. Let it go. Okay, once you have felt it, once you have accepted it as part of yourself, it should be healed. So just leave it alone. Let it go. If you keep saying, but no, but I need answers, but this and that, you still have attachment to it. And so these experiences are here to teach us not to attach us to, not to bind us to anything or anyone. Okay, because we are free beings with free will. And so by letting it go, you release it to the universe so that it is taken from your body and you are healed. You feel lighter. There's more space in your body for light. And so by clearing this energy that is stuck in your body from ages of trauma and all that, by clearing that energy, you will open up the channels for energy to flow through your body, and then your intuitive gifts will come to show, and you will start to notice things around you that you never noticed before, and life becomes so much better. It becomes so much easier because you can actually see the lesson before you get involved in the issue or whatever. I don't know if I said that right, but in any case, that is how I do my shadow work. And I hope that this helped you guys, because I know shadow work is not an easy feat. We are brave, brave souls for doing this. Remember that. And you are not alone. Even though your experience is unique, you are connected to everyone. And we all are connected through the energies, not through the situations, not through what it looks like. We're connected through the energy. We're connected through pain. We're connected through love. We're connected through everything. We've experienced all the same emotions. I can guarantee. And so I bid you adieu. Mucho, mucho, mucho love. Mucho, mucho, mucho peace. Good night.